We just saw Gable Steveson make his UFC debut at UFC 329 on one of the biggest cards of the year, and honestly, I was impressed. Now, I know a lot of people had questions going into the fight because this was only his fourth MMA fight. We all know Gable is one of the greatest wrestlers we've ever seen, so everyone expected him to come in, shoot takedowns, dominate on the ground, and get a submission easily. But that's not what happened. Instead, he chose to strike, and I honestly didn't expect that. He was throwing oblique kicks, jabs, knees, combinations. He looked way more comfortable on the feet than I thought he would. And eventually, he found a finish with another knockout. Now that's 4 MMA fights, 4 knockouts, no submissions, no decisions. That's honestly crazy when you think about the wrestling background he comes from. And that's why I keep saying, this guy reminds me of Jon Jones. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's as good as Jon Jones. What I'm saying is he trains with Jon, and you can see already a little part of Jones' game starting to show. The oblique kicks, the confidence while striking, the way he mixes everything together instead of relying on just one skill. For someone who's only 4 fights into his MMA career, that's seriously impressive. Now the big question is, where does Gable go from here? I've seen a lot of people throwing different names around, but the one that keeps coming up is Josh Hokit. And honestly, I don't mind that fight at all, especially after everything Josh had to say. He basically called Gable out, said this isn't wrestling, said you'd better have a good insurance if you fight him, and even took shots at Jon Jones. Now we have to give Josh his credit. The guy knows how to sell a fight. Whether you agree with what he says or not, people are talking about him, but I actually like Gable's response even more. He basically said, if the fight happens, it happens. Right now, I'm going to enjoy this win, get back into the gym on Monday, and wait for the UFC to call. I actually respect that. It shows he's not getting distracted by all this trash talk. He's focused on improving. Now, another name that came up was Ciryl Gane. And I don't think people should expect that fight anytime soon. Even Gable himself said Ciryl is one of his favorite fighters and that he's definitely someone he wants to fight one day. But he also knows that he's not ready for the fight yet. And I actually think that's the right mindset. Too many prospects nowadays win one fight and immediately start calling for the title. Gable isn't doing that. He's taking his time. He's letting his game develop. And honestly, I think that's the smartest thing he can do. Because let's be real, the heavyweight division is dangerous. One mistake against someone like Ciryl, Sergey, or Tom, and your hype train can disappear overnight. So if I was Gable, I'd take the Josh Hokit fight next. Because it's a fight people already want to see. There's already a little bit of history between them, and if Gable wins this one, then you start talking about the ranked guys. Personally, I think the UFC has something really special here. Elite wrestling, knockout power, young, and he's only getting better every single fight. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Jon Jones, but I definitely understand why people are starting to make that comparison. If he keeps improving at this rate, I genuinely think he could become one of the biggest stars in the heavyweight division ever over the next couple of years. But that's just my opinion. Do you guys think Gable Steveson is the future of the heavyweight division, or do you think that people are hyping him up way too early?